Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends, as this video is brought to you by drroto.com.
Welcome to Lose Locks MLB DFS podcast. It's the Friday freebie edition, of course. You can get this podcast Monday through Friday at drroto.com if you're a subscriber. I'm Lou Landers. Find all my MLB content at drroto.com. Follow me on Twitter at LandersTalks. And the biggest thing is get access to me and all our fantasy baseball and DFS experts in our members-only Discord channel. Be sure to check out our daily DFS articles and cheat sheets as well. A 12-game slate here tonight. We'll take a look at the starting pitchers. Framber Valdez of the Astros, $8,500 tonight taking on the White Sox. And Valdez has put together 5 weeks of very good starts. He's been very consistent, going at least 6 innings in 9 straight starts, not allowing more than 3 earned runs in that time. In his past 7 starts, Valdez has scored no less than 16 points. He has a high of 35.8. Needs 17 points tonight to return value for you. He's only scored less than that one time in his past 7, and even then wasn't too far off. The White Sox as a team have underachieved this season, particularly offensively. So this isn't a tough matchup like some may think. The one issue Valdez has had this season is with some walks. However, as an elite ground ball pitcher that he is, he's been able to get out of trouble even when his command escapes him. And as consistent as Valdez has been this season, these next 2 guys are my favorite starting pitcher pairing of the night based on price and matchup. We'll start with Frankie Montas at 8,300 versus KC. Montas having a solid season overall despite being on a bad Oakland team. He's done his best work at home in Oakland, which is where he pitches tonight at home. This year, averaging over 21 points, a 2.81 ERA, 1.01 whip, and 2.06 batting average against. So great stuff there, and a very good matchup here against the Royals, who own baseball's worst record right now. They are 27th in the league in runs per game. They're 20th in average. They're 23rd in OBP, 27th in slugging, and 28th in homers. Montas has scored 29 points or more in 2 of his past 3 home starts, over 21 in 3 of the past 4. Faced some good lineups in that time too with the Astros, Red Sox, and Angels. He's going to be my SP1 tonight, and I'm going to pair him with John Gray of the Texas Rangers, who is 6,900 taking on the Tigers. Gray has been excellent in 2 of his past 3 starts. He's averaged over 30 points in the process, striking out 12 in one game, 10 in the other. Tonight has a matchup that is about as good as it gets. The Tigers rank 30th in the league in runs per game. They're 27th in average, 29th in OBP, 30th in slugging, and 30th in home runs. Many starting pitchers' best starts this season have come against the Tigers. Gray could be next in line to accomplish that. Good news here is also that even though he does have a massive ceiling, and that's why I like him so much, he needs just 13.8 points to return value at the price he has, and that's a very low floor based on how he's been pitching and who he is going up against. Over to some stacks. We'll start with the Los Angeles Dodgers versus Zach Plesac. Dodgers always an interesting stack, particularly when they're not facing elite pitching. They have the second most runs in the National League this season. They're a loaded lineup up and down all throughout. And this matchup versus Plesac is a good one. He has not been sharp this year overall, but when Plesac's pitched away from Cleveland, he's been exceptionally bad. 6.49 ERA is bad, the 1.25 whip below average, but the 3.18 batting average against is what really jumps off the page at me. That's a recipe for disaster against a good lineup like the Dodgers. Trey Turner and Mookie Betts are bats I'm definitely looking at. They are both priced over 6,000, so using some of the value plays I'll give you here shortly will be crucial. Freeman and Will Smith are great bats as well, also expensive, but we do have some cheap options in this stack like a Chris Taylor and Gavin Lux. There are many ways you can go with the Dodgers. My favorite stack tonight, though, is the San Diego Padres in Coors Field against the Rockies. I just love the Padres tonight. They're on a roll, and now they had 2 Coors Fields where they get even a bigger bump in value. They take on Kyle Freeland, who has struggled this season in Coors, to the tune of a 5.35 ERA, 1.53 whip, and a 3.04 batting average against. There are some pricey Padres, but there's also some very affordable Padres. My main lineup right now is a Padres stack. It has Frankie Montas and John Gray as the pitchers. Didn't even have to use any of my value plays because of the pricing of some of the Padres. Machado, Cronenworth will be included in my stack. They're expensive. However, Alfaro, Voit, and Kim are all very inexpensive. Those 5 bats are who I'm targeting. 4 of those 5 are right-handed hitters against the lefty-throwing Kyle Freeland. Over to something a little more contrarian here. It's the Astros. That's not contrarian, but versus Giolito, it's contrarian because he's the 4th highest priced pitcher tonight. That alone makes this contrarian. He also has good overall numbers, is a big name and thought of as an ace. So going against him could give you some leverage here. I mentioned I love the Padres. I like the Dodgers a lot too, but if you make multiple lineups in the same contest, you could make one contrarian lineup featuring Astros against Lucas Giolito. Giolito has been giving up tons of homers and runs lately as well. 12 earned runs in the past 3 starts, 5 homers. Alvarez, Altuve, Tucker, Bregman, and Brantley are the top hitters to look at in the Astros stack. Over to some values here, 3,500 or less on DraftKings. We'll start with first baseman Jesus Aguilar, $2,100 against Carlos Carrasco. And not the best matchup versus Carrasco, but Aguilar being a middle-of-the-order bat with power and drives in runs, he should never, ever be this cheap. In a Padre stack, I'm using Voit at first base because he's also cheap. But in the other 2 stacks, using Aguilar can really give you an edge, help you save some money. In the Astro stack, you can avoid Yuli Gurriel, who is not hitting well. In the Dodger stack, you could use Aguilar at first. Use all the other Dodgers you want, except Freeman, of course. Of course, you want to use Freeman, but using Aguilar will allow you to pay up for the hefty price tags to help balance out the price tags on Turner and Mookie Betts. Third baseman / outfielder Brendan Donovan is $3,200 against Michael Wacha. Wacha, an underrated pitcher, but he is by no means overpowering or dominant. Donovan has been hitting the ball very well lately. Despite not hitting for much home run power, he does have 5 extra base hits, 7 runs, and 6 RBIs in his past 10 games. Is batting .400 with a .467 OBP during that time. Hits all over the lineup for the Cardinals, sometimes up top in the 1 or 2 spot, other times in the 6 or 7 spot. But either way, a good lineup. He's been producing lately. You can use him at third base or in the outfield. Shortstop, Ha-Seong Kim of the Padres is $3,300 tonight against Kyle Freeland. I mentioned him when talking about the Padres stack. Kim is incredibly cheap for a bat that's going into Coors Field, and he's been producing at the plate lately despite poor overall production. Past 10 games for Kim, 7 runs, 2 doubles, a triple, 4 RBIs, 4 walks, a stolen base. Is batting .313 with a .439 on base percentage, and he's been much better this season against left-handed pitching like Freeland. He's batting .271 with a .405 on base percentage compared to just .206 average and .237 OBP against righties. And we'll keep things with the Padres here as I move over to tonight's pick to click. It's going to be third baseman Manny Machado. Machado is $6,100, and I know that seems expensive, and it is, but getting to use Machado in Coors in a great matchup versus Freeland is very hard to pass up, especially when it's not challenging to get him into your lineups thanks to the pitching and other Padres at affordable prices. Manny hitting well as of late, as he has basically all season long. A .333 average, .391 OBP, 8 runs, 2 doubles, 2 homers, and 11 RBIs in his past 10 games. So Manny Machado, tonight's pick to click. Be sure to check out our daily DFS article and cheat sheet from our brilliant writers and fantasy experts at drroto.com. Come to the members only Discord channel for all your fantasy baseball and daily fantasy sports advice. We help craft lineups, we give you our lineups, and we help you win money. This has been Lou's Locks MLB DFS podcast, the Friday freebie edition. I'm Lou Landers at Landers Talks on Twitter, and this show brought to you by drroto.com. So thanks for tuning in. Good luck with your lineups here tonight, and I'll catch you next time.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take